So after 10 wonderful days in Switzerland, we're now heading towards Basel and the border with France and Germany and heading off to the Alsace. Hopefully the weather will be great there as well, and then in a couple of days time we meet up with the road less travelled famous Guy Berwick, and he'll spend a couple of days with us. Well, we've entered into the last week of our big adventure with Prue through Europe. We're here in a lovely site in Aubenay in the Alsace, just about to set off on a bike ride to take a look at the local wine route. These are the Vosges mountains in the Alsace, just outside of Aubenay. The monastery you can see on the top of that hill over there is Mont Saint-Odile. Last time Lynn and I were here with our mountain bikes, we cycled up there, but we won't be doing that again. At school lunch passing out time. The village of Bar. Here we are in Geert Villa. Very pretty. Lynn's eyeing up another patisserie. And despite my best efforts at avoiding it, we still managed to find our way climbing up about 400 metres of Saint-Mont-Odile into the forest. And what's Alsace famous for as well? Nougat. We're on our way to Epernay on a lovely sunny day. Covered probably about 2/3 of the journey now. It's about a 400-kilometre run, quite a long run. And we're going to meet Guy Berwick, who's going to stay with us for a couple of days. Or as we are now calling him, his French pseudonym is G de Barwy. Look forward to seeing him later. This is the arrival of Guy Berwick, intrepid traveller.
Peace.
First on the left, Guy. Guy, we just watched the replay. How are Germany doing in the World Cup?
I'm deeply sad that they won't be playing us in the next round.
Did you not hear the news? Germany have just lost to Korea South 0, so they're out of the World Cup. That's why it's very quiet next door. Just for the camera, that flag is our German neighbours who've just been watching the game. Here we are at the Champagne de Castellane Cave. Only slight problem is we're on the wrong side of the tracks to get into town. Sadly, Epernay's been a bit of a disappointment. Apart from the beauty of the Avenue de Champagne, most of the rest of the town's been a little bit scruffy and the food's not been great. This is Bernafay Wood British Cemetery on the Somme. And we're searching out an old lad from Calder Vale who's probably not been remembered by anybody else because he was an orphan who worked in the village in the mill. Was a conscientious objector, so became a member of the Royal Army Medical Corps. You see guys dressed appropriately for this. Right, here we go. And we've got some appropriate Lancashire rose-like flowers for a Lancashire lad. Yeah, there's Lynn's first view of the Menin Gate. Nice in the morning sun. Perfectly frames the marketplace as you look through. We don't want to appear morbid, but Ypres really is a special place, so we cycled out to the Tyne-Cot Cemetery, which is the largest of the British cemeteries there. There's over 8,000 named soldiers in this particular cemetery. and an even larger number of unknown soldiers who couldn't be identified. A very sobering experience. Everyone should come here at least once in their life. Here we are in lovely downtown Ypres. It's a town square. Pretty cool. We've come back to the Menin Gate for the 8 o'clock last post ceremony. The Belgians have been doing this service or short ceremony every evening since the memorial was set up in 1921. Apart from the Second World War years, I haven't missed a single day in all those years. It's a credit to the country. So it's goodbye to Wipers, as our old Tommies would have called it, and off to the Netherlands. Just waiting for the bridge in Middelburg. There's a potential Blues Brothers scene here. I can just see that cop car flying towards us. Prue's last pitch of this trip. Here we are in Delft. Just set up for the night. Didn't bother putting up the big tent this time as it's a one-nighter. And then tomorrow lunchtime we're on the ferry. But we do have the whole evening to look forward to in the wonderful city of Delft. You know you're in the Netherlands when the bike park's this big. So it's bye-bye to the Netherlands. Here we are on one of the Pride of Stenna's fleet. Not done a daytime passage, 7 hours for a long while.
Dear Prudence, won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence, greet the brand new day. The sun is up, the sky is blue, it's beautiful, and so are you, dear Prudence. Won't you come out to play? Dear Prudence.
So here we are back in Abbots Ripton. We've been back a couple of days now, and as you can see, Prue's all cleaned up and spruced up and ready to go. We've had time to reflect on the journey. We had such a fantastic spell over in Europe and trotting around all those countries. So we think we might do it again. So when are we off again, Lynn?
Very soon, I hope.
Friday?
Yes, Friday.
We're going
That'll
Friday.
do.